music. And...
Yeah, and also our friend from Trapped, Andre, was in it.
Yes, I
was
love seeing
That was
Andre.
brilliant. It was a real Nordic noir mishmash crossover feel.
Well, from the opening titles onwards, really, isn't it? I mean, we had a lot of this last year with like Unforgotten and River and what was that? Tosh from Darkness.
Yeah. Now.
So The Missing, awesome. If you haven't seen it, go and see it. Should we chat our girl quickly just before we get on to other things?
Good idea.
Georgie sort of managed to stop a explosion in a graduation ceremony from Abu is the name of the terrorist in this, wasn't it? Obviously,
that's right, yeah.
Obviously a big fan of Aladdin.
It's very hard to be scared of a terrorist named after a monkey, really, isn't it?
After a cartoon monkey. So
like if it was called Bubbles, I wouldn't be able to take it seriously either.
Overall thoughts, really, because I think, it's been off for a week now, so we sort of know the score. I think what I liked about it personally, the final episode, was that she didn't end up with either of the blokes. She decided not to get married to boring Murdered by My Boyfriend Doctor, and her and Elvis seem to have at least not decided to get serious, because you heard at the end that she hasn't got a man on the go and she's gone back to Africa to the health centre. There's differing views on either side here, so I'll let Gary do the praise first and then Luke do
I'm definitely in the 4 column. This is one of my dramas of the year. I was thoroughly entertained. I think Michelle Keegan was fantastic. I really liked the fact that although I think I knew what was going to happen, whereas I really thought he would come to the wedding, I think coming to the graduation was a nice swerve. And actually the story kind of made sense. I liked the fact that she spoke with his mother and his ex-girlfriend. Really, and they were both really good.
What did you think to the ending at the graduation? Because I found it a little anticlimactic, if I'm honest, and I think Luke felt the same way.
Well, maybe, but I think the show had given you plenty of dramatic moments, and that I think, had they have not, for instance, killed the other doctor in Kenya, then maybe there would have been some scope for him, maybe taking it, maybe blowing himself up in some sort of controlled way. I don't know, or whatever. But I think they ended the show quite right, and I think because now we know there's going to be another series with her, I think that makes even more sense for me.
What did you think as well? Because this really interests me. What did you think of the relationship stuff? Because it was quite heavy in that last episode. Did you like that?
I wasn't a big fan of the relationship stuff. But I can see why they did it. It added nice tension to the whole kind of like. The family were obviously very much a case of Elvis is the devil and things like that. And every time they saw him, they come.
If I saw this on paper, Northern characters. She's on-off relationship with 2 young men. I wouldn't think this had Gary written on it at all. I mean, you've openly dismissed things set in that area before. Things like Happy Valley, you didn't give a chance. You didn't get, which is fair enough. Cold Feet is a complete relationship drama, and a lot of this was a relationship drama, tiny bit of action, relationship drama, and an anti-climax.
And that's what Luke thought of it there.
Yeah. And if we've had a year where this month alone we've had some stonking drama with The Missing, National Treasure, and this wouldn't make my top 10 of the year. It doesn't mean it shouldn't make yours, but I'm surprised it makes yours just because of Tony Brown's insistence of pushing the love story in your face all the time. And I'd have thought that would have been a turn-off for you. I really would. For everything I've known about him over the years, he shouldn't like this as much as he does. So
no, and I see what you're saying, but I think.
But then I think we were surprised, Luke, that he really put onto Dr. Foster as well.
True, yes.
I like. Gary's an enigma, aren't you?
He's an enigma. He's an enigma who loves former Coronation Street stars. I don't know. I'm surprised. I mean, you're more than welcome to your opinion. It wasn't a terrible show by any stretch of the imagination. I just, if I had seen this on paper, let alone seeing it on telly, I wouldn't have thought that you would love it as much as you do. It just surprised me.
I love to surprise you. That's why I live for.
Okay, we'll move on now to The Apprentice, because that's the other, I think, big one here. 18 candidates this year, which to me is an awful lot. I think that's too many. I think 16 is the max that they should have, really.
There's at least 6 that I have no idea who they are still.
Yeah.
And I've watched both weeks. 2
episodes so far. The first one was sort of finding collectible antiques and selling them on at car boots and to experts and things like that. And that's advertising Japanese denim jeans. Yeah. Japanese denim.
They make great fish and great denim, apparently.
I don't know.
To be fair to them, they don't make the fish.
Gary, do you want to lead us through this? Because your background in Apprentice podcast.
Yeah, I think this is an intriguing year for the Apprentice.
I think it's already a vintage year. Personally.
Yeah, and I do, but I think the reason is it's a full of a bunch of idiots.
We say that every year, though.
No, but I think most years you can spot those that have potential, and there are a few. Don't get me wrong. That the guy, I have absolutely no idea what his name is, and he didn't do anything last night. But the guy that was doing the majority of the best selling last week looks like he's got potential. And actually, JD, who was in the boardroom last night, looks like he actually has some sensible things to say.
I think there are. I think after like week 4, you start to know everybody's name.
I think the stars of last night are very much. There was 2 women who both had meltdowns, one in the task and one in the boardroom.
Jessica and Alana.
Yeah, and Alana. And they don't really seem to get along, much like the problems that the women have had in the first episode. They had again in the second episode.
They kept finding problems for solutions, didn't they?
Well, I didn't like Jessica's recurring gag in one where she kept almost dropping a vase.
Know. I wanted her to drop one so desperately.
But in the first episode, they managed to lose. They forgot to tell the guy with the van with the stock in it to meet them where they were going to go. And in the second episode, they managed to leave the jeans at one venue to not bring them to another. And to be honest, it's like, I mean, that's not even business. That's just common sense. I mean, and I think that's what annoys people the most. It's like when they do things like that.
It's very, very funny, though, this year. I've laughed a lot this year. One criticism, a slight criticism before Matt destroys my views. I don't think I've warmed to Claude any. I don't think he's Nick. I wish we still had Nick. And also, I'm enjoying it even more because I'm watching it about 5 minutes beforehand, so I can whiz through the ridiculous time they get up early. So that doesn't even annoy me anymore either, because I don't know what time it is when they get up.
This is why I think I was watching this morning before I had to go out. I had a job interview today, and I was just thinking, do these people not have time to eat breakfast, and that's why they're always so cranky? Because
they're always so hyper. Their sugar levels are.
They've got 20 minutes to leave the house.
I mean, if I had 20 minutes to leave the house, I think my first priority would be get the kettle on.
Yeah. 3 people in my family, and I don't reckon any of us could do it in 20 minutes if we hadn't had something to eat or drink in the meantime.
Exactly. Maybe they sleep in their suits. Well, I haven't warmed to this yet. I don't think, for me, apart from Jessica, who really annoys me, no one has really sort of stood out. Oh, what's his name?
Hello, Karthik.
Karthik, yeah. But I just, that's not enough to hook me, and I just thought, here we go again, it's the same every year.
I like it a lot.
I'm certainly not the same. Yeah.
I don't think we need to talk about it in depth, but I have the same feelings as you do with The Apprentice with the Bake Off.
I'm with the Bake Off.
Yeah, we're nearly at the end. I don't think it's felt like it's got going yet.
I think this year as well, because there's not anyone who's particularly stood out in terms of the baking.
A lot of them, I forgot what they're called. Not masterpieces. What are they called? Why am I doing this? What are they?
Showstoppers,
sorry. A lot of their showstoppers have been a complete mess. I just think it's mediocre this year. And as some people pointed out to me on Twitter, we've only got 3 episodes left, but not of this series, of the Bake Off as we know it, and then it's gone forever. So we shall see. But it's
ending on a bit of a whimper rather than a bang. Should we just quickly predict who we think is going to win now there's 4 left?
One of them.
The Bake Off?
Yeah. Luke?
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
I'm going Candice.
Candice as well.
There's Candice, Selassie, Jane, and Andrew.
I'm going for Jane.
Candice.
So 2 Candice, 1 Jane.
Yeah.
We'll see. Probably Andrew will probably end up winning it now.
Yeah.
Quickly, let's just chat X Factor before we end with 2 really good things. So, the live shows this week. My chart for the X Factor is back this year.
I do. I enjoyed that,
Yay!
despite the fact I disagree with it completely. But,
Yeah. You just disagree with Honey G being at number 8.
well, that's on
Can
the
I ask
show
you,
in general.
Before Matt does his undoubtedly long but interesting preamble, Gary, you do a very interesting thing with the X Factor, that you have little to no interest in the preamble itself, and then come in at the live show. Does that not make it a little bit odd to just, you have no idea who the majority of these people are, you meet them at the live shows for the first time? Is that not a little bit, don't you feel no connection to anyone at all?
But then that's okay, because I'm then forced to try and believe in these people from this point onwards as credible artists, which is why I'm not interested in
Guantanamo or whatever they are.
And I'm not interested in, we say Honey, you say Exploited. They're not acts. They're tribute acts.
I know you were doing comedic effect there, but Honey G is not anyway exploited. She's a clever woman. She knows exactly what she's doing.
No, she is. Come on.
No, she's not. She's a marketer at some. She's a marketer at some firm. She's an Olympic athlete in tennis and judo and all this stuff. And she's on the X Factor to end up on Celebrity Big Brother, and to end up on I'm a Celebrity, and to end up on
present the Extra Factor in
any show
doing
that
the
will have her
Ryland
afterwards. She's doing the Ryland. She's not thinking she is a great singer, but if she can stay under the radar and stay interested by the public for a long time, she knows she can make a relatively good career out of it. If there's any justice in the world, we won't see those two lads again, but we're certainly going to see Honey G again, and it's not because
Lamar
she's exploited. Yes, thank you.
I personally don't agree. I feel
if you look her up, she's not some sadder who's walked in off a council estate with thoughts of grandeur. She's a sensible woman who's done well in her career up till now, not in music, granted, but in other things. She's not just some woman who's been living a sheltered life with her family telling her she's the next big rap star.
She's not Susan Boyle, is what you're saying.
Yeah. You're entitled to your opinion, but I think you're wrong. I think they are exploiting the novelty of her act and the novelty of it to bad effect.
She's aware of the novelty.
What I'm saying is she's aware of it. She's not thinking...
that doesn't make it any different. Just because she's playing along and suggesting that she's it, I don't believe it.
Matt,
I also think...
I'm with you, Luke, on this.
Thank you, God.
I can understand what Gary's saying to an extent, but what we're saying is she's come on to be a novelty act, and she knows she's going to be treated that way. She knows exactly how she's going to be treated, Gary.
Yeah, she's not coming on, Gary.
I understand both the points, and I agree with some of them. I do agree that
it's not opinion, it's fact. That is fact.
No. There's a difference between opinion and fact. The facts are that, yes, the facts are quite right, that she had a past. She knows what she's doing. I'm not suggesting that she's being exploited because...
You said she was!
No, let me finish the sentence. That she's not being exploited as the fact that she walked in and thought it was funny, and that maybe she thought she could sing and stuff like that. I just feel like they are exploiting her as a novelty.
She's come on to be the novelty act.
Don't you? I think the word you're using is incorrect, because I think what you're trying to say is they are using her to sort of front the whole series rather than picking out any of the other two. So you don't, because if somebody was exploited, yeah, that's what you're trying to say.
Embellishing her role on the show.
They're making her the number one reason to watch the X Factor. That's what you mean, rather than
that's more what I mean. Yeah, that's a good.
Rather than. Because exploited would mean that she thinks she's a great rap star and they're taking the mick out of her.
No, I don't mean that. No, right. I don't believe she thinks she's the next...
oh my God, I had a sweat on then. I really...
Did you have any favourites of the ones you saw?
Did I have any favourites? I quite liked the band that were on at the beginning, Five Past Midnight. I thought they did a good job. I'd like to see them again to see what else they can do.
I suppose the big story this week was that Brooks Way, the twins, who Sunita knows, they've been replaced by the girl band Four of Diamonds, who will be making their debut this Saturday. My favourite, I think, was Relly C, who sung Shackles. I quite like Gifty. I think she's quite good as well.
The only thing I would say about it's where has this idea come from recording songs that haven't been released yet? When was that allowed?
Well,
After
to be
Fleury
fair,
did Uptown Funk.
yeah, she did
Oh,
Uptown
okay.
Funk, and to be fair, the song is out this week. It does seem a bit like now the X Factor is just the Simon Cowell song machine.
Yeah.
They did Sax, which is the Fleury's track, as their big group song on Sunday. The song that Gifty did that nobody had heard of was a Fifth Harmony hit. One of the boy groups did, and one